What is going on, everyone? This is Ancap24 from Playbook GG, and in today's video we're going to show you what I believe is the best cover 2 beating play in all of Madden 19. Now, if this is the first time checking out our channel and you want to win more games playing Madden, hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget to also click that bell icon to make sure you never miss any of our videos. So the play we're going to be looking at is called PA Bubble Y Over, and it comes out of the gun doubles offset weak formation. Now, this formation can be found in a handful of playbooks, but the one that we're going to highlight is actually called the Spread Playbook, or it's also known as the Pass Balanced Playbook. If you go to our website at www.playbook.gg, if you go to the tab called Playbook DB, which basically stands for database, you're going to see that you're going to want to look at under the pass balance offense to show you all the other plays that are in that formation. And once you find it, you can also cross-reference the other plays, the playbooks that it's in, because you're going to want to after you see this video of how nice of a cover 2 beater this actually is. So the PA Bubble Y Over is going to be a spot that we're going to show you on 2 different hash marks what we like to do with it. We're going to start in the left hash mark where we got the Twins receivers to the short side of the field. And what really makes this play work is this motion. And we're going to do this motion throughout this type of mini scheme that we're going to do out of the spread offense. So not only is this play going to be able to work out of it, we're going to show you other plays that are going to complement it well, so that way people don't know what you're running. We're going to take this tight end and move him to the left. When you see this on the left hash mark, Ridley, the player on the right, and he's going to move into the numbers, and you're going to see that the tight end will stop in between the tackle and the guard. He's in a fullback position, but he's in a great spot to run a speed corner route. You can see that we got 2 different ridges. It's hard to see because I got the RB icon, basically covering one of the ridges, but then he's got that second ridge right at the 40-yard line. With that route, you're going to have a really nice success to the sidelines of throwing this ball when we do a classic flood concept. We're going to put the X on a streak, the Y on an out. What you'll see with this play is that the A receiver is going to get behind the cloud flat coverage, which is the cornerback on the left-hand side with the red gloves, and you're going to be able to throw it to him on the sidelines. So watch what happens here. What you'll see is you carry out the fake, wait for this A. Once it goes to the outside, you throw it to him, and you're going to see that that's going to be a really nice window for you. Now, the reason why I like this so much is that it puts a high demand on the user to have to sell out to cover it all the way on the sidelines. If you see the B receiver right here, he is a deep, skinny post that will go ahead and split the safeties, especially with the fact where we make the left safety widen out with the X receiver. He will get matched up one-on-one with the outside player because we're in a 4x1 set. Now, I want to make sure you understand what that basically means. That basically means is that you've got the ability to make the player on the right-hand side match the B receiver, okay? So what I'm going to show you here is just, I'm not even going to throw it. I just want to show you what happens to the B player, right? So I'm going to go ahead, carry it out. You're going to see that the B is going to have the ability to go over the top, okay? Now the A is open, and it depends on what you have on your roster as far as speed and route running. But this guy will typically have inside position for the one-play score opportunity, because what ends up happening is that cornerback will open up his hips, and then you're going to go inside. Now, Gilmore's got 94-man coverage. He did a really good job, and this is probably the best that you'll see when it comes to it. But you can still see that if you pass lead this, if you look at the over the top, you still have this shot pretty easily over the top to be able to outrun him and get a rack ag, right? Basically catch that with the the X button and be able to get over, okay? I wanted to show you that because there's a couple things that I want to make sure that we can add into this. If you see people are doing that, you can move this guy over. You can go ahead and put the same route combination on the left-hand side if you like. And now we can put the B on a comeback. And what's going to end up happening on the comeback is that guy's going to play one-on-one with that guy. You got the A to the left, and now you get the comeback to the right, okay? So it's just a 1-2 combination. You can now know that that guy's going to be in man coverage, okay? Another thing you can do is you move this guy over, and you can put the Y on a slant, the X on a streak. And I want to make sure you understand why we do this. If the B goes ahead and clears out that cornerback down the field into the middle of the field, the player on the right that's in the vertical hook, it's the player to the right of the guy with the M over his head, he's going to take the running back on his route, leaving the Y wide open on the right-hand side. If you get people that have to worry about this tight end to the left-hand side, very, very hard for them to be able to cover the deep middle, the slant going to the right, and the tight end going to the left. So here you go. You see, we'll carry out the fake. You're going to look for this wide that comes across the field, throw it to him, and now you got a lot of different space, make a move, and you're going to have yourself, that much more yardage. So let me show you to you on Instant Replay just to make sure that you kind of understand what we're talking about as far as taking that player out of the play. So what he does is he goes ahead, he's going to carry him. See how he man matches him? I already told you that we have that ability to throw it over the top, especially if you have the right matchup. But because of that, you can see that this vertical hook that we talked about will take that player, leaving this whole side open, okay? And this is a throw that you could still make to the tight end, even if you don't have that pull route. It's definitely a lot harder. I'm not going to say that it's going to be as consistent for you, but it will be there if you get the timing right, especially if you have a tight end that's a little less speed, because that way the X will drive the player over. But you'll see with this route combination, the same one we just did, you carry out the fake, you can see that this A, if you time it right over here, we'll still have that ability to catch it on the sidelines, okay? I want to make sure you understand that, because if a user has to cover that player, then he's going to give up the slant to the right. If he wants to stay at home with the slant, then you could go ahead and throw it to him. You can make that your 1-2 combination. Now, what I'm going to do here with the defense is I'm going to put underneath coverage and then over the top coverage. What that does is it cancels the man matching principles of the cloud flat. That's not going to change anything for us per se, because if we do something like this, where our original combination, now you can have the B that splits that players pretty easily. And you can see that as soon as he goes past the player, you go ahead and hit him, and you're going to get yourself a really nice opportunity to catch it and go up the field. That is something that is going to force a defender to have to go into deep blue. And that's probably what people are thinking. I'll just put the player into deep blue, and then I'm going to go and change it. So that's where the right hash mark comes into play. I'm going to show you. You can see that I got the middle linebacker in a deep blue. I'm going to do this route combination real quick. I'm going to show you how it works and how it can beat the player over the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and explain it, the whys behind it, so that you kind of understand how this is going to work, okay? As you can see, we're able to get that ball into that player, and I'm going to go and break this down, okay? It's going to be easier for me to do it in Instant Replay and kind of give you the whys behind everything. So when we move the tight end over to the left, the player on the right end up going more wide. The way that a middle linebacker or any player in the deep blue is programmed is he's going to take the player that is the most deep player inside the numbers. So what we did here is we've created an opportunity where the tight end is the deepest player inside the numbers once number 12 stops. Okay, so he stops. You can see if you look at the numbers, the middle linebacker is going to take that player all the way to the left. Once he sees that he gets to that spot, look what he does. As soon as he gets to the numbers, look to the right-hand side. The post has not gotten to the numbers yet. So if he was to look at it right now, not one player is in his zone. The tight end reached the numbers, the other player has not. He squares up his body. See how he squares up his body at that point? Because he didn't have anybody to have to cover. So as long as you get this animation before your guy crosses the 20, then you're going to see that ability to throw it over that player for the one-play score. Now, I want to make sure that you mentioned it is a 4-by-1 formation, which basically means that this player on the right went ahead and matched him. If they go ahead and reset the clouds, this is even much easier because that guy is not going to be tailing him, and you can see how it's going to be an easy one-play score. So go ahead and show it to you one more time, guys. We got the deep blue out there. If you're having some problems getting that guy to turn, then most likely what the issue is that your tight end and B receiver have, not the correct speed correlation. You just want to move your players around. But you can see here that you're going to carry this out. You got the time here, and you're going to be able to throw this ball over the top. As you can see, I just missed them, but the play's there, and I want to make sure that you guys see that. So I don't want to harp on that too much, but that is a nice opportunity to beat the middle linebacker in deep blue, especially in situations where people think that's one of the safest coverages in the game and go to it in like at the end of half situations. Now, the other thing I like to do is put this player and motion him over, right? Once you have him in that motion, you can put him on a wheel. You use running back routes. Now watch what ends up happening on this play, where if somebody, basically I'll just go ahead and, do something to where they keep them in mid-read, doesn't matter if it's a deep blue, but watch the nice opportunity where this tight end will will go ahead, go up the field, and he basically will get in this little spot in that wheel route. That time the vertical hook really held him in a spot, but that doesn't normally happen, to be honest with you. Once you move this guy over, that vertical hook usually will get spot by the Y bubble, kind of move him out a little bit. And when that does that, you can see that he's got this spot right here that is just a really nice opportunity. So now you're basically doing two different route combinations. And the route combination that you're really trying to do here is that if the middle linebacker user goes ahead and covers that player, then you got the B receiver, right? So you got that guy that cuts up the field. Now you're waiting on this B, you're throwing them right there, and you've got that really opportunity that if they can't play deep blue and they got to do mid-read or they got to cover that themselves, they really can't cover both spots of the field with this. So that's why I just kind of want to show you kind of the evolution of what a play design would look like when you're looking into this, right? So again, if they're looking at something where they are not, they're leaving those guys there, you could do the slant. You could do the same thing where the slant will go ahead and get open on the right-hand side. Remember this? And you've got that there, and then you've got the wheel that is also a threat for you. So there's so many options on this play that makes it so much fun. I'm going to do the same exact route combination as before, and what's going to end up happening is if somebody has to worry about that slant now across the field, then you just wait for the wheel to pass that vertical hook, and you pass lead it inside, and you're good to go. You see how he passes them right there, pass it inside, and you've got that player. So it really puts the user in conflict no matter what you do. And when we go ahead and get you a little bit more route combinations, when we use this in the rest of the next couple of videos this week, you're going to see that we're going to be able to use that motion to just kind of set up our offense, and that's what's going to be fun about this. So I just wanted to show you this cover 2 play that I absolutely love if people want to stay in cover 2, or if you just want to mix it in when you know somebody's cover 2 heavy and kind of just put them at conflict throughout the entire play, get the bomb over the top. Make sure you tune in next for tomorrow's video, and we'll go ahead and build off of this with the spread offense. And again, guys, if you're looking for your Madden 20 website that you're going to want to, learn the game, learn the game from, the ability to get the best route combinations out there to really just be ahead of your competition, make sure you go and check out our website, www.playbook.gg, where everything is on the site for $9.95. You get access to every game plan each month, just the best deal out there. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out these videos below for the most helpful Madden tips. If you're looking to learn from the best players in the world, head over to www.playbook.gg for the most detailed game plans in Madden.